Saying what scenes I enjoy the most. No, actually, that's not true. I very much like the end of the movie, because I think the end of the film, there's I think one line of dialogue in the last 5 minutes of the movie, and the reason that I'm proud of it is because if the rest of the movie wasn't working, the last 5 minutes wouldn't work. But I think it does work, which proves that the rest of the audience is with the central characters and bought into the story. So yeah, that's the bit I'm proud of, I think.
You seem to be drawn to movies that kind of center around the home and family and dysfunction.
Dysfunctional family, yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. You don't choose your tastes; they just are. And it's like, why's your favourite colour blue? I don't know. It just is. I mean, why do I like stories about families? I'm just fascinated by them, and I feel like I'm good at telling them. And there's the old thing of, well, if you're a director, you have to feel like you're the best person to tell the story, and if you don't feel that, then someone else should be doing it. And I feel I'm comfortable in that arena. It may be because I came from a not entirely functional family myself, and but it's probably not just as simple as that. It's just the drama of human beings in homes. It's sort of what we all go through.
It's there through an awful lot of your directing, because you could argue that the families in Gypsy and the Cherry Orchard and Winter's Tale are all dysfunctional families
absolutely.
too.
Certainly, the Cherry Orchard and Winter's Tale are definitely dysfunctional.
But you also have a pretty keen interest in social observation, and this film bristles with that. I mean, can you talk about your interest there? I mean, as a non-American director, does the North American culture, social culture, intrigue you?
Well, obviously, yes. I mean, otherwise I wouldn't have made so many films about it. And it is odd to me. It's still that I every time I do one, I think, okay, well, that's probably it now for a while for American movies or American themed movies, and then I make another one. So it's partly circumstantial in that I live in New York, and so it's easy for me to make films and stay close to home. I don't want to leave the kids, so it's partly that, but it's also partly that I am drawn to this world, and I love it, and I'm fascinated and love it in equal measure, and the social observation part of it, I appreciate that kind of ironic writing. I mean, I think Alan Ball, Dave and Wendler have certain similarities in that respect. I mean, I like, I enjoy irony and sometimes satire in writing. I mean, I think that's across the board. I think it's just in screenwriting, that's the work that I do, but also, in the writing that I enjoy reading, novelists and other movies. So, but yes, I mean, it's there, and it's. But I think it's in this movie. I don't know. I think it's loving on the whole. I don't think it's. I think that you see. I think with a possible exception of Maggie Gyllenhaal's character and couple, who I think are, frankly, a pain in the arse.
Yeah. And you show
I think
them
everyone
that.
else, and I'm sure they would be the first to admit. I think everyone else has mitigating factors. Even Allison Janney, who I think is just trapped in a terribly unhappy marriage. But I think you only sense that through the cracks.
I loved her performance, Allison Janney. I was wondering, I've never seen her like that. It was hysterically funny.
She's a genius.
So is that something you improvised with her? How did she arrive at that? She walks in with that? And
No, we rehearsed, and David Mendes wrote an out there character who just, in order to get laughs, basically, would say almost anything, but mostly at the expense of kids. And it just tickled me. I mean, that was one of the things I loved most about when I first read it. But I think that, when you see that sort of stuff on a page, the thing that, when it's obviously funny, the thing that becomes most important is that you give it some kind of human content, so it doesn't just become a caricature, you know. And so you go to someone like Allison who can just, you know, can root everything in something real. And what I loved and appreciated about it, and what we talked about with her was that, you know, she's been on and off mood stabilizer. She talks about that. You know, it gets revealed gradually. She's with this guy who clearly is just, you know, would drive even a sane person mad. You know, who's wonderful, Jim Gaffigan. You know, she's trapped now in a place that she doesn't really want to be in. She can't get into the golf club. And gradually you realise that you know, her life is a list of disasters, and that wonderful thing that she, again, so within that, then she improvised some things. Some of them are just brilliant. I mean, for example, I threw that thing when she says, you know, Taylor, over and over to the kid. I threw that in, and that was the one time she did it. I just said, and I told the kid, I said, she's going to call your name, just ignore her, okay? And he's great. That kid is so good.
Yeah,
he literally, like, it's like nothing is touching him. He's just staring at that fucking racing form. He could not be less interested in the sound of his mother's voice, you know. And every parent has had that, you know. For the 8th time, I'm asking you, you know, whatever. So, so that stuff is, you know, when you've got someone who's flying and who you get on with and you have a rapport with, it's very easy to throw that sort of stuff in. Another little thing that she did, which I just thought was absolutely brilliant, is after Jim Gaffigan has that long thing about you know, there's going to be a drought coming, biblical flood, but in reverse, and he goes through the list very painfully slowly of all the things that are going to die, ending with humans. She says, "Are you done?" Like that. And that was her. And I thought it was just, it's difficult to describe. To me, that's somebody who's lived through that over and over again, you know, and who realises the effect her husband has on her room when he launches into one of his speeches. And to me, you read backwards from a moment like that through the whole relationship. I don't know, that sort of stuff is gold dust, you know, because it just is the tip of a huge iceberg. You don't have to see it.
Why Montreal? Because I think some Montrealers may take issue with that sequence, because there's no evidence, to my mind, of existence of predominantly French culture there.
Which sequence?
Montreal.
Why would they take issue with the sequence? Predominantly French culture?
Well, I'm from Montreal, and of course Montreal is basically a French-speaking city. And I think you shot this in Connecticut?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a reason why you shot maybe the entire movie elsewhere of the locations? Or?
Yeah, we didn't have the money.
Uh-huh.
How many of these locations were
We went to Miami because we had to shoot on South Beach, and we went to Tucson because of the resort and seeing the desert, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You fools.
Huh?
You fooled us.
Well, you know, magic and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors.
Good luck with your movie.
Thank you.